What's going on, YouTube? It's Bagwell DR. I'll take that back. Bagwell Dr. Buster. A lot of people have been asking, is it Bagwell DR Buster? Is it Bagwell Dr. Buster? You know what? If I can remember to, because I'm used to saying DR, from now on it's just Dr. Buster. Bagwell Dr. Buster. So, because I get people they'll mention me on their videos and it's either Bagwell Dr. Buster or Bagwell DR Buster. So you know what? Doctor just sounds cooler. I don't have a doctorate in anything. You know, my sister just graduated from college and she graduated summa cum laude. I graduated thank the Lord. So anyhow, little housekeeping. This is my Mr. Brog squat. It's shape number 52, and I'll get back to that here in a minute. But first of all, this is a video response to Adam, Drumpiper11. Congrats on all your subs, 200. That's awesome, dude. Well deserved. If you don't know who Adam is, go ahead and subscribe to him. He's a drummer and a pipe smoker, so bam, we already got two things in common. Oh, and this, I'm smoking some Frog Morton Cellar. Anyhow, for Adam's contest, he wanted us to tell a story. And I got to thinking, you know, should I go something funny, scary, exciting, you know, so I couldn't decide, so I came up with two stories that's happened to me in the past. First one's funny, the second one is kind of, I guess it was scary for me anyway. So the first one is, I used to do a lot of deer hunting. I don't anymore. I still do, still hunt turkey, but I don't do any more deer hunting just because I got tired of it. And you know, around here in the South, deer hunting season is you're cold, freezing your balls off. Pardon my language. This is an honest lighter, and honestly, it don't light half the time. So, back to my story. Deer hunting. I used to go with my brother-in-law, my sister's husband. We used to go, you know, from our early 20s, and you know, I still hunt with him to this day, turkey hunting anyway. So we were hunting on some public land here in South Carolina one day, and we found a good spot. A lot of deer had been killed in that spot, public land. But we decided we'd go on further back up into the mountains, and we walked for a while and went through some clearings, and anyway found a perfect spot, what we think would have been a perfect spot. We were going through a food plot, coming up over the up to the tree line, back down the other back side of the mountain, and we found two nice big tall oaks, probably about okay, about this big around, just perfect shape to climb up in with our tree stands. So I pick one out, and he finds the other one about probably 40 yards to the left, a little bit down the hill. I'm facing, you know, kind of to my right, where I can turn my head and I can still see him. You know, that way if we could look at each other and say, hey, you hungry, or you know, whatever. And this was back before we had cell phones, so I'd yell at him if I was ready to go. Even if we were hunting and we were, you know, half a mile away, I'd yell. I'd say, hey, time to go. Whatever. Back to the story. So we're climbing up in the tree. We're about, I don't know, probably about 30 feet up in the tree. And we're sitting there all morning. We see a few does walk by. Just nothing exciting. It's kind of getting kind of boring. And then we start to hear some leaves rustle. And I'm looking back this way, and I can see my brother-in-law looking back towards me, back behind me. So I look over, and I see the infamous color of bright hunter orange bobbing through the woods. I was like, oh, here comes another hunter. So I don't want to, you know, if anybody walks in on me, or if I walk in on anyone else, I don't want to disturb them. And you know, if he just kept on going, it would have been fine. So, funny part is he don't stop. Or I'm sorry, he doesn't keep going, he stops. But he goes it's funny. I mean, this is probably about 8 o'clock in the morning, so the sun's already up. You can see. He comes down from my right, goes down the hill, down to the bottom. It's not a creek bed, but it's where drainage would, you know, from the mountain would have come down. And he finds him a tree, probably about 50 yards from us. I mean, and he gets up in there, like he's up there probably 50 feet. So he's not really eye level. He's down a little bit from me, so I can see him, and he's facing towards us. So I look at my brother-in-law, and he's looking at me, and he's like, you know, what do we do? I don't know. Hey, if a deer walks by, I'll shoot him. Deer walks down your way, you shoot him. You know, whoever shoots him first, we'll just take him or whatever. Or whoever gets a better shot. So, this dude, he's probably about my age. I was 22, 21 at the time. He's climbed up there, you know, he's sitting there. And every once in a while his head will do this, and he's just nodding off. We sit there about an hour. He, taking into account, he never sees us. And, you know, every once in a while I'll watch over, because if I see a little movement, I'll look over. And this whole time I'm still watching. And he's not, he don't even have his gun up. He's just kind of sitting there nodding off. So he's sitting there about an hour. And about that time, he unzips his pants and starts going to town. Now, I don't want to get too graphic because there might be some youngins listening or watching this. Well, this dude just starts going to town. I mean, I was embarrassed, but I couldn't help but laugh. I looked at my brother-in-law, and we was both looking at each other. Oh, of course, we laughed louder when we got back to the truck. But so he heard us laugh, and he looks up, and the look on his face was priceless. You know, he's embarrassed. He puts it up. He doesn't even acknowledge us. Climbs down back out of the tree, takes his gun, walks by. Doesn't look up at me or anything. But I noticed when he's walking, he's crying. So this dude was so embarrassed. Oh God, that was about 12 years ago, 13 years. We still get a kick out of it. We tell that story all the time. But yeah, he just climbs up in that tree about an hour later. He's bored, and he just starts going to town on himself. Oh man, it was hilarious. All right, that's my first story. Second story is kind of, I guess, exciting or suspenseful, but it was scary for me. So we had a group of friends in high school, and just to, what I was saying about the number 52, we called ourselves the Killer Bees. Back then we didn't have cell phones, we had pagers. And anytime we'd page each other, we'd put a 52 at the end of the page because that was KB on the touch-tone dial pad. Anyway, so we always wrote 52 on everything. So that was one of the reasons I got the squat, because it was model number 52. I know. It wasn't a gang, it was just a, we had a group and we just called ourselves the Killer Bees. So anyway, I was dumb. Well, it wasn't dumb back then. Now looking back, it's kind of dumb. Alright, so my senior year, it's prom time. I've got my date. All our buddies, you know, there's probably about 5 or 6 of us. We all got our dates. One of my buddies, his name was Travis. He had a girlfriend at the time, but his girlfriend's parents hated Travis. I mean, hated him with a passion. We never knew why. I mean, Travis was, he would get in trouble. You know, he wasn't a troublemaker. He would just, well, he just hung around the wrong crowd most of the time. You know, we were good kids, but we were still mischievous, I would say. So we come up to this plan. So that all right, first of all, Travis's girlfriend's parents she forbid her to go to the prom with Travis. So we come up with this plan. I was going to go get my date, get my pictures made with her, meet the family. Of course, I knew her family; she was my girlfriend at the time. But get her pictures made and everything, and then we were going to meet back up at another buddy's house, where I would drop off my girlfriend, my date, and I would go pick up Travis's girlfriend, date, secret date, and pretend that I was going to the prom with her. So I'd never met her parents. They didn't know who I was. They didn't know me from Adam or nothing, you know. but they wanted to approve of her prom date, and she told him some story like, I just met him, you know, I was a year older than this girl, we all were, and she just told me, oh, he's a senior, he's a cool guy, I want you to meet him. So I go over to the house, and I drive my dad's, it was a 1992 Mustang 5.0 convertible, sweet ride. Matter of fact, we took it to the beach a few times. So I drive that car over there. Travis when we pull up, Travis is in the back floorboard, hiding. I don't know why we chose or made the decision that he would ride along with me. And now I regret it, because I go and I get out and I meet the family, and we go get our pictures made and everything. Meet the grandparents, aunts, uncles. I was you're just a regular gentleman, you know, being polite, nice, and they were like, yeah, we like this guy. Now her dad seemed kind of standoffish, which I could understand, a girl introducing her prom date to her parents. So get her pictures made, do everything, and we leave. Now, like I said earlier, we had pagers back then. We didn't have cell phones, so we're on the way to our meeting spot at our other buddy's house, and she gets a page on her little pager there, and it's her mom, or her house anyway. And so we stop at the little convenience store about a mile from her house, and she calls home and gets back in the car. She's like, I need to go back home. I forgot my key to the house. Need to run back and grab it. Mom just called, said it's here. It was sitting on the kitchen table. Need to go back and get it. So we come back, pull into the driveway. She gets out, and she's starting to walk away from the car, and a hand grabs the car door. And I look up, and it's her dad. And that son of a gun jerks the door open. I promise you, he's got a slingshot like this, pointed in the back seat where Travis was sitting. Now, how he knew that Travis was back there, I don't know. Apparently, he must have saw him as we drove away. So this was just a plan by her parents to get us back here to where she couldn't go to the prom with us, or with Travis, or me, really. So he's got this slingshot. Now looking back, it's funny, but he's got a slingshot pointed at Travis' head, and Travis's eyes are this big. I was like, sir, we're sorry, we're apologizing, we'll take on off. Oh, no, Travis, you get out the car. And, you know, he really wasn't paying me any attention. So, reluctantly, Travis gets out of the car, and he walks over there, and this girl's dad is just reaming him a new one. I mean, just ripping into this guy, ripping into Travis, just giving him a hard time, fussing, and, you know, threatening to beat him up and all. By this time, he had put down his slingshot. Who uses a slingshot? You know, Tom Sawyer? I don't know. So anyway, it was just funny looking back. So, anyway, he's fussing at him, and I'm sitting in the car. I'm just like holding on the steering wheel, just pretending like I'm not listening or anything. I'm not embarrassed. I'm just worried. I was like, well, you know, this ruined prom night or whatever. We were gonna have a good time. So, all right. So Travis gets back in the car, and he's pissed. He's like, let's just get the heck out of here. And this whole time, her dad's just SOBing us, right? You know, come back. You know, I'm not done with you, you SOB. Don't you ever mess with our daughter again, and all this back and forth. Travis is just like, get the crap out, you know, get the F out of here. Let's just go. This old man's, he's just a piece of crap and all this. And they're yelling back and forth. So I'm ready to get out of the two. And by this time, I'm getting kind of pissed too. So I sling it in reverse, and I back up. And I hear the thump. Not one thump, but two thumps. I'd hit this guy's two dogs and killed both of them. And so this is when I really get scared. Now looking back, I would have acted differently. I would have chose to react in a more positive manner. So put it back in drive. God, this is terrible. Put it back in drive. Floor it. I know I just hear one thump, and I take off, and we're gone. So needless to say, he doesn't follow us, but I had to buy or pay for two beagles. Actually, one was a beagle. The other was I don't know, just like a mutt, about the same size of a beagle. But oh man, when I heard those two thumps, I was like, surely not. This can't be. This day couldn't get any worse. But first, the dude aims a slingshot at us, and then I kill his two dogs and ruin this girl's prom night. So, I mean, talk about luck. But anyway, I'm over 15 minutes. So, congratulations, Adam. Hope you enjoy my stories. Hope everybody enjoyed my stories. But you guys take care. Congratulations, Adam, on your 200 subscribers. Wish you many more. God bless you guys. See you.